doing the clap.
You are, since you asked the question. I usually do, but once you ask.
Camera 3, can I hit a clap, please?
There it is.
Jazz, big smiles, and action.
REC Experience presents Real Estate, Entrepreneurship, Leadership with your host, Jazz Takhar. The REC Experience podcast is now on air.
Hey. Thanks for being in the REC Experience. I'm your host, Jazz Takhar, with your girl, Laura Alto Stewart. What's happening, girl?
Hey.
Little different setup today.
A little different setup.
Well, I thought we're going to have
We have a third party.
We do have a third party. So we're not going to do our regular intro outside of our podcast discussion today. I thought, hey, why not bring in Alto? We have a local filmmaker with us as well, 3-time Emmy Award winner. So we had to switch it up a little bit.
And pretty much I just begged, can I please be? This is probably the closest I'm going to get to Hollywood right now. This is it, folks.
So we had to do something a little different.
Yeah.
Joseph, my man, thank you so much for driving in from Burlington, local Greater Toronto guy. I don't want to butcher your last name, so I'm going to let you say your last name. So it's Joseph
DeBenedictis.
Okay, awesome.
You were practicing earlier, and
Yeah.
I kept saying that's what it was, but I said, oh.
Yeah.
Let's not
Let's
butcher
not
it.
say it.
Let's not butcher it. I always say my viewers and listeners know I'm a big comic guy, and so tell us like your origin story, man. And we're gonna obviously speak about the Emmys and all the cool documentaries. Obviously, I really wanted to sit down with you because you do a lot of sports documentaries as
Correct.
well.
Yeah.
And I'm a big sports guy, but talk to us a little bit about how this all started. And
Well, I was lucky because I knew what I wanted to do when I was like 5, maybe.
serious.
Yeah.
How did you know that though? Like,
I don't
what
know.
were you doing back then?
I was grabbing like the family home camera and just filming stuff for fun, and I just loved it. And
I wanted to be a princess when I was 5. So
well, you could tell.
I'm still working on that
Yeah.
dream.
You could tell that you were obviously you're in the industry now, but I could see why you said like you even when you were 5, because usually, and the viewers and listeners don't know that I usually do the clap to start, and you're like, who's doing the clap? We all looked at each other like, oh, okay,
that.
obviously you
testing
are.
the mics.
Yeah.
He's like casually 1, 2.
because usually I'm on this end over here.
Where Machado's up to,
Or I'm doing both at the same time. So
So go back to it. So you're 5, you're picking up the family cameras.
exactly. And there's video of me like asking my dad, "Can I hold the camera?" And he's like, "No, I'm busy. I just play," because he's trying to get natural family moments where I'm trying to like
Behind
I want
the
to film it.
camera.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Were your parents into the industry as well?
No,
Like,
not at all.
okay.
I mean, just my dad enjoyed filming family stuff and like was always kind of creative mind. But
And let me guess, the camcorder was like this big
yeah,
at
it was
time?
the old JVC. Yeah, it was pretty great. I still have it in my home now. It doesn't work, but
you just have it as kind
it's
of
just
a,
cool. Yeah,
That's so cool.
It's an heirloom.
Yeah. So I started. I guess I just eventually started just making fun videos with friends and actually my dad with his friends when he was young made like a sketch comedy show for fun, like on literally the old film cameras like that if you had one at home you were lucky.
Yeah.
So
Are we talking about the ones with the big reel?
yeah.
Like,
So he would film on that
okay.
and he'd record the audio after the fact, like on a cassette tape, and then you'd have to watch it being played together.
Clown. Do you realize how lucky you are that we don't
My
make you
guy,
do that?
Machado here, will start to go nuts when the Apple Mac starts to freeze.
Oh, I know. I hear
We should
you.
just
I
take him back
understand.
there just for
Yeah.
one shot.
Yeah.
Like one
know how
edit
good
for
he
you,
has
Clem.
Yeah. No, I understand your pain as well. I'm a full-time editor, so it's a pain. But yeah, so that show was called The We Show, like small. And then my cousin and I took over that show when we were like of age to like, maybe 10, 11. Like just to like make our own funny skits.
Cool.
And then that eventually turned into, in 2008, we got a series on like local Durham Rogers television.
So you grew up on the east side?
I grew up in Pickering.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up in Pickering. Moved around. Well, moved downtown for after university, and then moved to Buffalo, then to Burlington. Buffalo, get there in a sec. I still drive there every day.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah. So got the show on air for 8 episodes of just us being funny. Looking back, it wasn't very funny.
It's funny to you at the time,
But
right?
we've evolved, thank God. And I went to, got into Ryerson as a radio and television arts program for 4 years. And again, I knew about that program long before I ever was of age to go to that program. I just knew about it.
I'm curious, Joe. During before university in high school, I have a feeling your marks and grades weren't that good in other subjects.
They weren't bad.
Okay.
But they weren't like
And
great. I just took a lot of good notes and I didn't want to screw anything up.
Here's
so.
the thing: Jazz is always trying to find his fellow bad students.
I didn't like it.
around.
I didn't like
He
school.
wants to feel like he's in great company
I
with other
agree. No, I
like-minded
agree.
people
I didn't like
him.
school, and
Right.
looking back, it was
Right.
felt like a bit of a joke.
Right.
Especially high school felt like,
Right.
and especially elementary school.
Yeah,
But
for
I
sure.
think it's more just to be interacting with other people. Like
And your parents, were they okay with this? Like,
Yeah, they were very
They
encouraging.
saw kind of
they
that
were
spark
very
in your eye
encouraged.
when you had a
Yeah.
camera in your hand,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
and
Right?
I
love
also
that.
was, there was a time of 2-3 years I was in a band, and they were pretty. I was like the lead singer and guitar, and they were all behind that too, and I made videos for our band, and
Right. And to your
absolutely.
point about school, look, I think for some people school's not right, but for a lot of people it is the right. Obviously the doctors, lawyers, and engineers and the accountants, we need them and they need to be educated about it. But even yourself, Laura, like the position you're in now here with us at REC as Director of Sales and Marketing, you learned this by getting an MBA and going through case studies.
Yeah, I
and-
mean, there's like two ways that I kind of look at it. I think ultimately, did I need the schooling to do what I'm doing here today? No, probably not. But I think just if you take whatever you can and squeeze every ounce and drop out of those experiences that you have, and then just look back on them, like when you're facing a certain challenge and say, when have I dealt with something similar to this before? Or what was my experience that will help me through this particular issue or work through a problem? And then it becomes like worthwhile.
Well, look, even I'm sure that you did group projects, and you can probably speak about this too, just like when we're doing group projects here, like in real life in our business, you're the one who would come up. You come up the ways to organize everything. Like
Yeah,
our
I've been in
whiteboard
a lot of scenarios where it's 6 alphas.
And there's a
all
lot
in
of
a group.
testosterone in
Everyone
these
thinks
rooms sometimes, right?
They're the leader. Yeah, a lot of males dominating and,
Yeah.
and used to dominating, and I would be the only girl in the room, and
4
I would
feet
just kind
tall
of
and-
in those moments, if you just sit back and kind of watch people, you start to get a sense of what's going to make people tick, what's going to make people work hard or not work hard. And you kind of navigate the situation just by watching.
What's your team like now, Joe? Is this mostly you're doing things on your own now, or?
okay, so yeah, I actually work for the Buffalo Sabres and Buffalo Bills. And their parent company,
Okay.
Pagula Sports Entertainment. So that is like the full day-to-day thing. And our team is great. Like our creative department is amazing. Some of the best people I've ever worked with I work with.
Work with now.
So, and yeah, that's where I get doing all the sports documentaries for the teams. And yeah, it's a great job. And that's why I live in Burlington, because I'm Canadian and my wife works in Mississauga. So we had to find a common spot.
So you really do travel.
I do commute every day to
every
Buffalo
day.
from Burlington. It's less time in the rush hour to get to Buffalo than it is to get downtown.
Makes
Toronto,
sense.
So
I could see that because
Yeah.
you're going west, and it's just a lot easier. And even going through the border, I'm sure you have like a Nexus
Yes,
pass now.
correct,
and you just
correct. No
get
problem.
in
How does
there
a
and-
person land such a job? I'm sure Jazz is envious, I'm sure.
yeah, it is true. I actually always wanted to be a sports agent my whole life.
There you go,
It just
yeah.
wasn't a big thing back in back in the mid '90s or so to speak. Or once I was in high school, like the Raptors just came on board, and there's no real big sports agencies in the country. So great question, Laura. Like talk to us about that a little bit.
I applied for a job that was on a listing, and I got the job.
That
it was
easy.
unbelievable. It was
That's
seriously.
awesome.
It's
I
that easy,
I applied to
folks.
it. Yeah, I applied to it thinking this is a shot in the dark.
Right.
I'm never going to do anything like that. And then I got a call like a month later, like, "Hey, come for an interview." And I was basically the only one in line. It seemed they couldn't find anyone else that they needed with the skill set of doing documentaries. Because before that, I was doing work. I worked for the Canadian Football League for the CFL.
Okay.
And I started doing documentaries for them. Kind of the first time they've ever done any.
Now, was that right out of university?
Yeah, right out of university, I got that job as doing. I was technically a video editor, but also did a lot of producing.
And then
then-
you took that experience and you got into Buffalo.
I got into Buffalo specifically for the Buffalo Sabres, the
Okay.
hockey team. About 6 months after that, Pagula Sports Entertainment was born, and we were one of the. It was almost like a startup, but it was a big startup because they were
The family's
owners.
huge.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
a great family, and
Yeah.
and had a lot of backing. So we were basically 12 people in a very big office that we moved out of the Sabres arena, and now it's grown to like over 100 people. And
Wow.
And they bought the Bills in that time, and among other things.
And are you doing just the documentary side of it? Like,
We do, like, I do a lot of them, but
Okay.
we also do commercials and videos that
You're the
air.
whole media team for
Yeah,
them then.
yeah, exactly. The stuff that airs in the arena or in the stadium, on Twitter, on Facebook, anything comes through us creative.
I got to put you on the spot really quickly. Are you a Leafs fan or a
I grew up a Leafs
Sabres
fan, yeah.
And now?
I grew up a Leafs fan.
What does
grew up
that
a
mean?
Leafs
Grew
fan.
up
I
a
like
Leafs
that.
fan. He
I
doesn't
like-
look like
he
he's
gets
too
it.
enthused anymore.
But I
He's lost
100%
hope along the
support
way.
the Sabres, and I can't not. I can't not.
Yeah.
And
But you obviously got to know the players now.
Also, like, if either of the teams win, the staff gets a ring as well.
Oh, sure.
So like
true.
I'm gonna 100% support
Okay, so
the people,
now
and they're great.
I'm putting in my notice. I'm leaving because I want a ring. So I'm
Yeah.
Well, you missed
I'm
your
not-
chance.
I'm not- that's the thing. I'm not there for it because you
But you
never
missed
know.
your chance with the Raps, Laura. So yeah,
Damn
our boy
it.
Drake
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, that's
Right.
right. He did.
So talk to us about the Emmys. What did you win for? You won 3 now. So huge congratulations.
Yeah, thank
to
you.
my
There's
man.
actually there's 6 actually.
Wow,
There's 6.
I apologize.
there's
Sorry, okay.
We did 3 at so we've gone 2 different years, and
Okay.
I think we won 1 and then 3 and then 2 or something like that. I don't know. It's crazy. That's not the point. It's a fun night out. That's it. That's it. It's a great
A
trip.
big party, eh?
Yeah, it's amazing. It was basically one's in sports documentary. I think for now the way the Emmys work is the ones you see on TV are like kind of international, like
Yes.
stuff that is made for the biggest audience.
Yes.
The ones that we are in there's like 17 or so regional because that's not made for
TV.
Mass market.
or
Like-
mass market exactly. So so we were the New York State, which is one of the biggest regions.
Sure.
As well, I think it extends beyond that. So we went for sports documentary among other categories, but that's one of the main ones. And basically, it's right at basically Times Square. There's the ballroom right there at the Marriott. It's amazing. It's a great time, and it's fun. And then after, if you do win, you get to go on the town after and get in anybody you like. It's very fun, very fun. It's
You
not
got
about,
to be like one of the celebrities that you
sure,
do your
yeah, exactly. But
documentaries
again,
about.
It has not
yeah.
right. Again, nothing. I don't need to win anything, but it's fun when you do, and it's just a great experience. And sharing it with people, it brings them a lot of joy to just see the thing.
Did you always like sports?
Yeah, I love sports. I don't necessarily need to be making videos about sports, but I do love sports. I play sports.
So I take it as an easy mesh, right?
Yeah,
between
absolutely.
The two for
yeah,
you.
exactly. I grew up playing soccer, hockey, baseball, and now I'm heavily into table tennis, ping pong.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Our boy Tyler's a big ping pong fan as
Oh,
well.
good.
I think we actually have a tournament coming
Yeah,
up.
we
I'm
do.
gonna
Do you
let
really?
know.
A charity
A
tournament.
charity tournament
Yeah.
for First Book Canada right behind
Oh,
me
no
here.
way.
They keep trying to recruit me.
April.
But
yeah,
I'm
I don't know.
I'm gonna let you know about it. I'm gonna let you know about it for sure. Shout out to Tom Best from First Book Canada. Talk to us a little bit about trying to find someone who's watching or listening is maybe having a hard time trying to find their passion or thinking that, look, I found something I really like to do, but I can't make a living out of it. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're someone who embodies that.
Yeah, I just did it. I mean, I didn't take what we were talking about earlier. I didn't take no for an answer or like listen to anybody who said, "Oh, you should do something that pays right away" or whatever. So I guess because I was lucky. I had support, and I just knew what I wanted to do, and I just did that. I don't know. It's hard for me to see other people be so unhappy with what they're doing. And I'm just, what do you mean? It was so easy for me in a sense where I worked hard at it, but
For
I loved
sure.
it, and I just did it. So I don't. Yeah.
Do you remember a lot of people kind of being like naysayers?
Sure. Yeah.
I sometimes have
Absolutely.
that chip on my shoulder a little
Yeah.
bit as I think about people who told me some teachers,
Yeah.
just other kids' parents, and
Absolutely.
stuff like that.
Yes, this is a very specific story, and it's funny. So my grandparents, who are from Italy, my grandfather, very progressive, grandmother, once in a while she'll chime in with a very funny thing. So there was one time, I think it was during university, and I was talking about the jobs I might get. And my grandmother from the back, get a job with the government. And I said, oh, okay. And then my grandfather was like defending me, let him do what he wants. It was very funny. So that's a very specific answer to that
but
question.
Not an uncommon story.
No.
We hear that a lot. A lot of people we have on the podcast, they'll say, we had parents or grandparents who, they want you to take the safe route because they just feel like it's almost a guarantee.
Yes,
if
exactly.
If you take the route, something like you did, like there's not a lot of jobs, people who are doing what you're doing, and so your chances are slim. And so kudos to you for kind of going against the grain.
Yeah, and now this like media or video is so much bigger than it ever was, right? Like it's huge, and almost lucky that I'm in it because there's a lot of people who need content being made, right?
Right.
So,
What's some of the biggest changes that you've seen in your industry?
Well, YouTube wasn't a thing. I was making YouTube videos when there was no YouTube. I was just putting them on somehow on a free website, and then YouTube came out, and then we put all our stuff on. Like that was during those kind of comedy sketch days,
right
before YouTube was a thing. I was too early. It was too early, but now I'm getting some traction with my own separate stuff.
Better to be too early than too late.
I guess so. I was too early.
Or never do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So exactly. I'm at the same time I have like the full-time job, and I love it. I'm also doing side work and doing my own videos for YouTube. I've been doing a lot of American versus Canadian comparison videos with my friend who I work with in Buffalo, who's American.
Oh God, this sounds
I've seen
so
a couple.
fun.
I've seen a couple.
Yeah.
So tell us about it.
So it started off like 3 or 4 years ago, where my friend Justin Moy, who I've known since elementary school, who's also in the industry, and we work together all the time.
Love it.
He was like, you should do a vlog. I think you'd be good at that. And I had no idea what he was talking about, but I decided to just do it. I filmed on my phone. I ended up putting like over 50 episodes out there. Only family and friends watched it.
Obviously,
Right.
as you get started.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like our podcast at the beginning.
I think our moms were just listening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%. All of my friends' moms loved it.
Yeah. That little joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I filmed so much stuff and had so little time to actually edit it that I still have a year's worth of footage, of vlog footage, that's just sitting there that I'm not gonna. That's never gonna see the light of day.
Why?
Because I discovered that what I was doing wasn't the right thing I needed to be doing. I needed to do something a lot more specific, because my vlogs were very just whatever was going on, and it wasn't. There was no real like storyline. There wasn't. It was just like whatever. I mean, it was interesting, but there was no reason for anybody really to watch who didn't know me.
Okay.
And then randomly we're like, hey, I brought my friend over. Like, why don't we do something where we bring you over to an American or Canadian grocery store, and we'll film this video. Maybe you'll see
so
things
much.
you've never seen before.
I love this
ketchup
so
chips.
much because
Yes, exactly.
So I have a group of friends that we met backpacking in Italy actually, and they're from Michigan, and so we would go down to see them. They would come up here to see us, and we would like send them care packages. So
Yes.
ketchup chips, Smarties. They call
great.
What are those things we get? Rockets. That's what they think Smarties are.
Yes, that's
I'm
right.
Like, what?
Yeah.
So just all these
Halloween
little
rockets.
differences, and then
Yeah.
you go to a bank, and then it says check, and they would always say, "What's this Cheekway?"
Yeah.
Cheekway account. Like all these little things. So it just
Exactly.
sounds hilarious, right up my alley.
We did this video and we put it out, and nothing happened. Like a few people watched it,
Sure.
and then some algorithm, God bless this algorithm, found it, and like now it's almost at 500,000 views.
Wow.
That was the first one, and then we're
Okay.
like, let's do some more. So we did a few more, and they did all right. And then we did a American versus Canadian McDonald's, where we literally went close to the borders on the Canadian side and American side, and then met in the middle.
Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo, Fort Erie.
Fort Erie, okay.
And then we brought them together, and then we ate that, and then that has since.
So you brought McDonald's across the border?
I did, yeah. You can do that. It's fine.
I'd be scared to bring anything across the
No,
border.
it's fine.
I have no fries on it. I
Yeah.
swear, there's no fries with me.
Yeah. So and that video has now over 500,000 views. We're close to 10,000 subscribers. It's very humbling and very amazing. And I've honestly been on YouTube for 13 years doing different things for different accounts.
I
And
love
stuff.
that. And I'm going to cut you off for a second because that's so important. Because you said my favorite number, my lucky number 13, which I love. But more importantly, you've said that you've been doing this for 13 years and you're just starting to see yourself kind of blossom.
Yeah.
To the person who's watching and or listening, like, please tell them That it takes some patience.
It takes
Am I
time.
right?
It takes time to actually get it. Not to say that I haven't. I mean, I've also found a career in a different way in the same industry, which is
Right.
great. But the passion part of it, I've been at it for that long.
And guys, you should see the smile on Joseph's face when he starts to talk about that side passion. And I just met you, and I could tell it's very vibrant. Like I could feel how happy you are when you start to speak more about the passion side of things than when you're talking about like your day job, which you obviously like and love, and man, you've been awarded for it as well. So it's obviously takes some time. Now we get a lot of young, 20 to 25, 28-year-olds, both guys and gals that want to get into filmmaking. They want to do what you do, what Machado does, graphic designing. What do you advise to them, man? Like, what's that one piece of or two pieces of advice that you might be able to give to them to keep either going or work for free, whatever? I don't know.
I did a lot of work for free.
Yeah.
I enjoyed most of it. So
I knew you and I were going to connect.
yeah.
It's the same.
So that was it, and I think that was early on a lot of like pressure I was getting was like, you're doing all this stuff for free. Like I did that show on cable TV for free. No, I didn't get paid. I was during university. Like I was doing it on my own time.
Yeah.
And that's where you got a lot of the pushback.
Yeah,
from people
I think
saying,
that
like, why are you working for
not
free?
not my mom or dad, but like other people. So, but I loved it and I did it, you just got to push through. And I think now you can get wrapped up in a lot of like, oh, I need this tech or I need that. Just film with your phone, man. Are you kidding me?
Love it.
I filmed the vlog for 3 years with my phone, and I'm a professional.
Yes.
Don't need a camera.
You have all the tech stuff.
Yeah, you have everything you need.
And you
for
actually
free.
are looking at it with an eye of like, I know it could be better, but you did it anyway.
It's all about story, man. It's all story. It doesn't matter if it looks like crap. Like it's
People.
It needs to have a story
Well, I
and a
think-
meaning, and that's all you need really. And that's what you need to look into. Like figure out how you can tell a good story.
Interesting. People use that as their excuse, I think, a lot of the times to not get
Oh,
into
yeah,
something.
I
Because
hear-
I
I
need
have
the
friends who do it all
equipment
the time.
first, and it's too
Yeah.
expensive, and it's
Yeah,
He's telling you
need
right
the
now you don't
equipment
need
when
any
you
of
know
that stuff.
you'll need it later, if and when it's working and like
Right.
you actually understand and you get some traction because your story or people are interested in what you're doing, not because your thing was slightly the quality wasn't great. Oh, look at that thing.
there we go.
For our guys, we started our podcast.
It's like a $5
on this
bike I
little bad
got on
boy.
Amazon or
And
something.
we connected him into a
That's
a
great.
laptop. Laura had no clue. She didn't even know what a podcast was, even after I was explaining it.
Like
So
this is 2 years after he first found out. So
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
where
yeah,
I don't know
right.
where the hell
Yeah, yeah.
I was.
plug this little thing in, and we did maybe about 5 episodes, 3 episodes or something. Then we got a $75 mic from Staples.
There you go.
Stepped it up a little bit.
Yeah.
No camera. Went in. Had no idea how to edit. We were like, forget editing, because we don't even know how to do it.
Right.
So just put it up. Put it up
Just-
with the ums.
exactly.
Put it up with the ahs, and
Exactly.
who cares?
And I have a lot of friends who are, I guess, I don't care what people
miss this.
think a lot, and I think people do are people worried about what people think about this or that, and if it's not perfect or if it's not that, but that'll kill you. Like just get it out.
I just put up a post on Instagram literally an hour before you walked in, man, and I was like, I think a lot of people don't post on social media because of some of their insecurities, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like my guys can tell I've been putting on weight as long as like this podcast has been going on, but I don't care. Like I think I have a little bald spots coming in the back,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
I ripped on Jazz earlier today. I was like, so today you picked the day to do the podcast. It wasn't in my calendar, so I didn't know, and
Yeah.
I didn't shampoo my hair today. I was like, but you know what?
And it
You
looks
got to
really
just do
greasy.
it. You got to just do it anyway. So
Yeah,
my
it's fine.
apologies for
Yeah.
people who watch
Do you
it.
think they really care? Like
It's
really,
fine.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like they
Yeah.
don't care. They want to hear what you have to say. They want to see you smile. They want to they want to feel those positive
Yeah.
vibes, and it's
Yeah.
not because we don't have a bald spot or whatever it is,
Whatever
right?
it is, yeah.
And so if you're thinking about starting to produce content for whatever purpose, just to get something out of your system or
Right.
or sell a product or run for prime minister, whatever it is, just do it.
Yeah,
You know, I hate
just
to
do
use
it.
the old like cliche of Nike, but like it really is that. Just take the leap of faith.
That's it. That's
And
it.
then who knows, you'll be sitting here with 6, not 3, 6 Emmys.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Joseph, we always leave these pod sessions with a tip for our viewers and listeners. And because I didn't warn you, I'm going to put our girl Elto
Okay,
on the
thank
spot
you.
first.
Okay. Oh shoot. Okay, I'll think of something.
What's that one tip for them today, Laura?
I'm going to do today's tip from a real estate standpoint. I think a lot of people will say, well, I don't understand why I would put up content. I'm just a realtor. I would say in the last 2 years, by us starting the podcast and starting to vlog and film what we do on a daily basis, you'd be surprised how fascinating people find what you, like an industry or a job that you find pretty mundane. So take your phone out, film a phone conversation, or pick an email where there's some questions that you were asked by a client or someone in your business, and just shoot that content, put it out, see what kind of feedback you get, and then go from there.
Awesome tip. Joseph, over to you, my man. A tip for anyone. It could be some filmmakers. It could be, again, entrepreneurs, people who are looking for a leadership tip. And maybe even what you know a little bit or a lot of real estate. I'd have no idea. We didn't even get into that.
I was going to come here and ask. I thought this is what I was here to learn. I'm very confused.
You got to go back to the past episodes to learn about real estate. So even if you're not watching or listening, get back to the past.
What should I do? What should I be doing?
Yeah, you should
He's
be
going to get
investing.
a copy of the book.
You are going to get a copy of a book and a couple of mugs, not these used ones. Well, you obviously going to get some newly wrapped packages by our boy Spencer. But you should be starting and investing in real estate. That's a different topic for a different day, though. I
would say, I guess, to echo what you were saying, is just go for it, as we were saying earlier. Also, don't. I think research is important and to know what's out there, but don't worry about it. Like, don't feel like you need to know it all before you start doing it as well. Like, just do it.
Get started. You'll get that momentum, like that snowball, right? Like
you learn as you go.
Building Frosty the Snowman. Like, I know we just finished the holidays. Like, it takes momentum, and it starts off slow, and then you keep on rolling that ball, and it gets bigger and bigger. I love that tip. My tip for you guys today is be consistent. Today, at the time of this recording, we just finished an event, a 4-day event. Today's Tuesday of the time of recording, so it's actually been the past 5 days. 500 investors, exhausted. My team is really drained, but I knew we had to show up for our guests today, and no matter what, there wasn't going to be if we were here and walking and breathing, we would not have canceled this episode. And so I say to you guys, be consistent, because I'm looking at the faces of my team and the guys and gals outside, and I can see how tired they are. But no matter what, they still showed up every single day. Just do a little something to move the needle towards what you're trying to achieve. Joseph, thank you so much again for driving in. Congratulations on all your success. You are making two others and millions of other Torontonians very, very proud. And thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Machado.
There's no one to say.
Well done.
Good job.
You had the hardest.
Normally I'm on the other
No
side.
problem.
I hope we made it easy.
Yeah, that was awesome.
This has been the REC Experience Podcast with Jazz Takhar, an REC Canada production.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching and listening. Please take a second right now to subscribe and follow us on whatever podcast platform you're watching or listening. It means the world to me. Thank you.